Hello everyone out there in interwebs land. So, Shade Tree Mechanic here, coming with a new project. A little invested in it, and I don't know, thought I might share with you a little bit of the knowledge that I'm developing for this project. I recently picked up a 1996 Honda Shadow vt1100. The bike ran whenever I bought it. It needed a lot of work. It had a lot of gremlins. Still has a lot of gremlins. I'm still working on it. But I have progressively started learning more and more about my project. Never owned a motorcycle before, never worked on a motorcycle engine before. I love learning new things, and I love getting my hands in it and developing that knowledge. So this is a labor of love. Needless to say, it's frustrating at times. So whenever I purchased the bike, it was only running on one cylinder. None of the electrical was operating the way it should. All the light bulbs, turn signal, headlamp, tail lamp, all of that was blown. Every bit of it. So I said to myself, I'll work on that first. Get those gremlins out of there. You have to have a good electrical system to operate a motor anyway. So that's what I did. I went through, I replaced the stator. I replaced the voltage regulator. I replaced the coil packs. I replaced the spark plug wires. I did my due diligence to pretty much cover my bases of the electrical. I'm not an electrical man. I don't know a lot about electrical, but I'm willing to learn. And those are the things that I felt like needed to be addressed first. So, worked on that, and it worked. It started running great. I mean, snapped the throttle back and it would take off like a shot. I had to hold on to it. I really did. I had to make myself not how would you get tempted? Let's say it like that, because it would really like go to throw you off. It's fun. I love the bike. As a matter of fact, there it is right there. See? Been working on it. I got her tore down right now, and that's the project that I'm working on right now. About a week or a little over a week ago, I needed fuel, so I went to my local Casey's fuel spot and filled her up with I think it was 83 octane, but it was the ethanol based 93 octane, or 83, sorry. Is it 83? My memory sucks, guys. Anyway, I filled it up and immediately started having issues. It was backfiring, and by backfiring I say because it was coming out the exhaust, not the carburetors that I know of. So I was like, all right, that was a mistake. Let's try different grade octane. It was still ethanol based. So I drained the fuel tank and put in, I think it was 93 octane, I believe. Yes. and it progressively got worse. Like, it was throwing flames out my exhaust about 2 foot long, 1.5 foot. And I mean, as you can see, I have shorty pipes on there. That's the distance from the exhaust outlet to the exhaust tip. And then same on the rear right there. So they're extremely short. And I understand, you know, whenever you're cutting that much back pressure out of the system, it creates it'll create a backfire. And I was used to it, and I'd been tinkering with it off and on, you know, trying to synchronize the carburetors, trying to adjust the air fuel mixture on the carburetors, and all while, you know, dealing with this new issue of an extreme afterfire. So today, or actually yesterday, I tore into the bike. As you can see, there it is. She's all sad looking, and it's a beautiful day outside. I can't even go ride. So I tore off the carburetors again, because I have previously torn off the carburetors to clean them. They weren't gummed up real bad or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to dot my I's and cross my T's. You know, I wanted to make sure that everything was the way it's supposed to be. Well, today I'm sitting at my workbench. It's all messy. You can tell I'm out here a lot because it's a wreck. Anyway, I'm sitting at the bench. I'm working on dual carburetors for an 1100 VT, or a vt1100. And going through, making sure all my seals are sealed, everything. I'm trying to be as thorough as possible. And a realization hit me. I was going to take the carburetors apart, and instead of taking them apart, because this little piece right here, or right here, sorry, connects the two, and they don't come apart. So in order to completely take them apart, I would have had to have taken that off, and I didn't want to do that. So I left that screw in. It screws in from this side and goes to over here, and I took this screw out. Well, in doing so, I was able to stumble across a little tidbit, and I believe it'll work. I'm not 100%. I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. And if you guys think I'm wrong, then tell me I'm wrong. We can discuss it. But upon doing so, I learned a little trick, I guess you could say, because down underneath the carburetor, if you look right there where that screw goes, in order to put that screw in, it has to be lined up. Well, and this carburetor here is your lead carburetor. This is the carburetor that goes to the rear cylinder, which is cylinder number 1, I believe. Let's see, that's the way it goes on the bike. Oh no, so this is the carburetor that's cylinder number 1, the left carburetor. Okay, and I noticed that on the opposite cylinder, or on the opposite carburetor, that this carburetor was closed. It was completely closed up, and I feel like that's what you're trying to achieve whenever you want to sync your carburetors in the first place, is you want them to both be opening and closing at the same time. So whenever this opens up and opens both of those butterfly valves, butterfly flaps, whatever you want to call them, they do it at the exact same time. That way you're getting the same amount of fuel, same amount of air in both cylinders. Okay. So I stumbled across this, and I may be wrong, but I feel like it's worth noting and trying at least. So this screw controls your synchronization on a 96 vt1100. That screw controls whether these two open up at the exact same time or not. So a minute ago I was messing with it, and whenever that screw alignment for the bottom there, right there, see it? That has to be aligned in order to stick the screw in. Right there. Right there. See the gap? Yep. Right there. Anyway, so I set this on a flat surface because it's the carburetor that I started with. And then I took and started adjusting my screw, my synchronization screw, because I noticed that whenever I would try to line up that bottom screw plate that holds the two carburetors together, that whenever I was trying to get that to line up, I noticed that my opposite butterfly valve was trying to open while I was trying to do that. I was like, well, that's not good. So I started adjusting my synchronization screw until it lined up that screw perfectly down under here, until it lined up perfectly without opening the flap, without opening the butterfly valve. Because it was opening whenever I was doing that. I was trying to get it to close. So just a little tidbit. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference, but I thought it's worth a try. You know, I haven't been real successful in finding many people to give me advice on this project. So now that I know that, I thought I would share it and see what other people think and put it on the old interwebs. So if you have any suggestions, if you think that that'll work, if you think that it won't work, just leave a comment, maybe hit the like button, and subscribe. I'm gonna try to start uploading a video at least once a week, especially with this project, because who knows, maybe one of you guys out there in the world may see it and be able to help me with it a little bit. Alright guys, Shade Tree Mechanics signing off. You guys have a wonderful day. Be safe. This virus thing's got everybody hunkered down, so see y'all next time.